So there is a particular person that I was friends with here on TikTok, and I have recently unfriended because this person wasn't making the rightful claims of God and refused to be corrected. One of the things this person was saying is that the gospel is only the fact that Jesus was put on a cross, buried, and resurrected. I'm like, that is part of the gospel. That is part of our gospel message to people, to show Christ's power, to show his authority, to show his love, right? That is part of it. But Thessalonians tells us that those who do not obey the gospel are going to have vengeance put on them. And so I asked him that question. I was like, so if the gospel is just the resurrection of Jesus, why do we have to obey the gospel according to Thessalonians? I know this answer. I wanted him to I say these two questions to get people thinking, to see if maybe also sometimes I find out that they know the truth. They just happen not to say part of it, in that particular video, and it does come out. Because sometimes we miss things in our videos. But he claimed that it was because we're obeying by believing that he exists. Once again, demons believe that God exists. They know his power. Demons know God's power, and they're afraid of him, and they tremble. So it wasn't that. And I told him, I'm like, if you literally look up the word gospel, it's a revelation or the teachings of Jesus Christ. That is why we have the 4 gospels in the Bible, right? Is because it is the teachings of Jesus. We are meant to obey the teachings of Christ, and he wouldn't accept it. So you guys, what is the gospel? It's the teachings of Jesus Christ, and the gospel is his nature, his character, of revelation of Jesus Christ. So we see the gospel throughout the entire Bible because he is the direct imprint and nature of his Father. And so we see Jesus throughout the entire Bible, not only in the prophecies of him to come physically, but in his nature and his character, because he is exactly like his Father. And then we have his teachings. And then we have the revelation of this power that was given to him through that resurrection. And we continue to get revelation of his power through everybody who followed after, through the Holy Spirit, to spread these revelations that they were getting, and ultimately gave us the Bible. To this day, people still get revelations. Not anything to create a new Bible over, but a further deepened understanding of what the apostles wrote when they wrote those books, right? Or even whoever wrote the books, Moses, David, Paul, anybody who wrote a book in there, our revelations that we get today are deeper and deeper and deeper understandings of what was meant in those books, deeper understandings of God's character. That is part of the gospel. The gospel is anything and everything to do with Jesus. So when the Bible tells us to spread the gospel throughout the nations, we absolutely make sure that anybody who hasn't heard of Jesus hears of Jesus. Now, mind you, most people have heard of God, of Jesus, but they don't know him. So spreading the gospel is giving them more information on him so they can make an educated choice on whether to follow him or not. Then we get to people who are Christians, and we're still spreading the gospel because there's always deeper knowledge to know about God. As you mature in faith, you spread a more mature version of the gospel.